Once in a while I dream. Once in a while I think of you.
When you're striving to create a more self-sufficient lifestyle for yourself and begin to grow your own food, legumes and potatoes are definitely the staple crops for your pantry. Peas and beans are a natural source of plant-based protein, and potatoes give you all the energy you need throughout the winter, as long as you have a cool place to store them like a root cellar. Today we'll be harvesting all of those, and I'm excited to see how many potatoes we can get this year. I'm continuing my pea harvest each day. Some of the pods are still fairly thin, so you can boil them for a while in salted water and eat them as a side dish. Or after blanching them for a few minutes, you can also save them for winter by freezing them. I do, however, try to use all my peas and pods fresh, either as they are or in my daily cooking, because they are truly the best summer food you can have. Now that some of the peas are picked, I'm checking on my sunset runner beans. If I see some that are already too big, I'll just leave them and let them grow all the way until autumn, then collect the seeds for next year. These thinner pods I can still cook and enjoy with my dinner and put the leftovers in the freezer once they've cooled down. During the last few years, I've learned not to sow my bush beans directly in the ground. I've lost so many plants because the young and tender seedlings are easily eaten by slugs. This year I was wondering why none of the seeds was sprouting, and one night as I looked out the window, I saw a hooded crow eating all the bean seeds that had turned nice and soft as they soaked and started sprouting. So in the future, I'll pre-grow them in pots in my greenhouse before planting them out. I've been growing paracress in my greenhouse. It's also known as bus button or a toothache plant. I always have some dried leaves and flowers in my herbal apothecary. It has been used as a folk remedy in South America for toothache because of its numbing effect. My mother has tried it a few times before she was able to get an appointment with the dentist, and it helped her, so I'm always growing some just in case anyone needs it. But as with any herbs, always consult your doctor before using them, especially if you have allergies or are taking any medications. More and more tomatoes are ripening each day, so I'll pick today's batch of sweet sun gold tomatoes to go with my salad. I think that when you grow tomatoes in a somewhat challenging Nordic climate with a relatively short growing season, it's not so much about the quantity of the harvest, but rather the quality and taste. Now it's time for the biggest harvest of the day. Potatoes. My dad was happy to come and help me out with the harvest. It's always exciting to see what comes up. In my mind, I like to imagine I'm digging for gold. I only grow potatoes in raised beds because I've noticed that I get a much bigger harvest that way, and they're also easier to harvest than by digging them up from a field with a hoe or a fork. This raised bed gave us some really big potatoes as well. We weighed them later on, and this basket and bucket together weighed 13.4 kilograms. That's a good start. Now we're moving on to the next one. As you can see, all the stems have already died back. This potato variety is called Columba. It's one of my favorite varieties because it produces a lot of spots, is quite early, and most importantly tastes very good. I planted all of these at the end of April, and now it's the middle of August. This bed gave us 17.1 kilograms. We used my dad's covered trailer to dry these potatoes for a bit and then just brushed off all the excess dirt. These potatoes still have a bit of a thin skin, so we decided not to wash them. I wanted to dig them up already because I noticed some wireworm damage on some of the potatoes and I didn't want to risk losing my harvest. I still had one more raised bed left of this particular variety, so we decided to dig that one up as well. From that bed we got 15.9 kilograms. So that's a total harvest of 46.4 kilograms of really nice summer potatoes. I wasn't sure what to expect because I didn't water them at all this summer, but luckily we've had some nicely timed rainy days this summer. I still have some late potato varieties like Mozart that keep growing until late September. My heart is so full of happiness and gratitude right now. What a beautiful harvest day it has been. Moments like these are the rewards for all the hard work that you put into your garden in spring. I tuck them deep in my heart because I know it won't be long before winter comes once again. But right now I can just enjoy these August days wondering what new recipes to try with these potatoes. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. But now let's enjoy a big bowl of homegrown lettuce with some fresh dill and sweet, ripe sun-gold tomatoes, topped with some feta cheese. Summer food at its best. Thanks for watching. I'm sending you all lots of love from my garden to yours. I'll see you again next time.